Welcome back to another day in Wrenches in Motion, and today what we have for you is the Mustang is up on the jack stands, and we have the, I'm not going to say new, but the transmission with only 28,000 miles on it, out of an '06 Mustang GT. I've had it for a while. It's just kind of been sitting in the shed till I could get around to it, and so obviously the first thing we did was we put it on jack stands. Took the battery out. We don't want to blow like the transmission computer or anything like that up. So step one underneath here. This is a 5R55S. And this is the rebuilt transmission that lasted all of about less than 10,000 miles before it decided to go again. Very upsetting to pay that much to have a trans rebuilt and it still not be worth anything when you're done. Hopefully this comes out quickly. Ew. Oh, it smells nice and burnt. That is unbelievable. I think the problem is actually in the pump for the transmission itself, because it whines like crazy. And then every once in a while you step on the gas, you don't go anywhere. So it's like it's not building pressure or something. So with a little struggling, not a whole lot, we managed to get the exhaust off, at least where I wanted to. That was a couple years ago. We noticed something strange, some noise coming from the exhaust. So I took this off. The honeycomb had flipped sideways and was just kind of bouncing around in there. So as you can see, we've got not really Bluetooth. Oh, as you can see, we've got not really Bluetooth cats because they are there, but whatever's supposed to be inside there is long gone on both of them. So the amazing thing is it's not throwing a check engine light, and when I was under there, this O2 sensor wasn't even plugged in all the way. So I don't know why it wasn't throwing a check engine light for the O2 sensors, but it wasn't, so we rolled with it. Okay, next step, I believe, is I'm going to take the drive shaft out, and I think I might do the torque converter bolts. Okay, the drive shaft is out, and I always want to take a look at things when I got them out. And I notice we got some seepage on the U-joint. So probably going to replace that. And then something under here that I really wanted you to see. Hopefully we can. I think I got a pinion seal leaking. So that's going to be something that's going to have to be fixed. I'm not going to do it because I don't do those. And if that wasn't bad enough, you're probably not going to be able to see. Well, actually, you can see. Let's see if I set this down. You can see some fluid right here. And I'm going to pause this and get to the back for a second. Yep, we got a shock blown out. So, gonna have to order shocks for it. I know it needs tires because these are so flat spotted, it's crazy. So far we need tires, shocks, pinion seal. The lines are off. The starter's out. That was no fun. 3 bolts, thanks Ford. All but 2 of the transmission bolts are out. I got the 2 on the top. So I'll be working on those. The cross member's still in. I think I'm going to put the training jack under it for support, and then go ahead and lower the cross member out of the way, and the transmission will already be unbolted, so everything should slide right out. At least that's the plan. And then I'm going to lower it down a little bit and disconnect all the wiring and the shift cable. This one has a neutral start switch already on it, so I think I'm just going to use that. Unplug it, undo the clip on the top, and see if we can't get this thing out tonight. I did have to shut the garage door because it started raining. Go figure. But that's why I brought this in, because I know it was going to rain today, and I think it's supposed to rain tomorrow. So what better time to work on the Mustang than with it raining outside. So I have been fighting this thing for the last 20 minutes. I've got all the bolts out. I've got I can lower the jack down, transmission and the motor's coming. I've tried shaking it. I've got a pry bar. I've tried prying it, and nothing is working to get this transmission separated from the engine. So I think that's where I'm going to call it for the night, because I haven't eaten yet. It's like 8 o'clock at night, so I'm going to shut down for the night, go ahead and eat, and come back in the morning and see if I can get this thing out. Let's look at this transmission here. There's the 3 bolts. There's the 2 on the top. Those are real fun. One here. One here. The 3 starter bolts are out because the starter's out. And then if you look in the front, these 2 bolts here, those are out. 2, 3. There's only 4 torque converter bolts. Those are all out. And I do not know what is going on, but this thing is stuck in there. So when we left yesterday, all the bolts are out of the transmission. I did clean this up a little bit. It's not going to matter a whole lot. The transmission is not coming out. It seems like it's frozen to the block. The only thing I can think of is maybe the torque converter snout is somehow bound up in there, or maybe there's corrosion between this and the engine. I don't really know. All I know is I got all the bolts out and it is not coming out. So I'm gonna go back under there, start shaking some more, which I really don't want to do when it's on jack stands, but sometimes you can't help it, and see if I can't get the transmission out. A little progress shot. I don't know if you can see it, but way down in there is a gap between the motor and transmission now. So hopefully this thing will start walking out. So after much foot wedging and other things, the trans is separated from the motor. So now I'll lower this thing down some, and we're going to pull it back because it's stuck in a bar. So I'll raise it back up again. Figures. There's always something. Alright. So I'm going to get it down, and I'm going to disconnect all the electrical connections and then slide this thing out. It is out. And judging by all the rust that's around the outside, I'd say that's what was holding it together. Which is good. So now we know that trans is out. I'm not going to reuse the TCI torque converter. If anyone wants it, it's only got like 10,000 miles on it. It's a 3,000 stall, I believe. And I think, yeah, this one's ready to go in. So get that one out of the way. Push it under there so I can get this down to a more comfortable height, because it's a little bit too high for me right now. And we're doing some sketch things. We got the 2x6s on top of the jack to get it high enough.